So now we are going to cover positioning. The first example is a 4 Warlocks lineup of big AOE. We'll go from the front line first. The Tide Hunter and the Disruptor is at the front so that it can receive damage and get its ult fast. If you don't have a Blink Dagger, that's probably where you want it to be. The Techies is in the front but a little bit off to the side so that more things can focus on the Tide Hunter and Disruptor, which you really want to get out of. After the patch, the Techies have actually been programmed to plant the bomb where there are more units. So even though you put it towards the side, it should still be able to plant a bomb that can hit a significant radius. The Alchemist is at the side because his acid spray isn't that super critical to get it off. So he can be on the side. And it's also a way to spread out your units so that a Tide Hunter or Disruptor don't instantly stun your entire board if you are clumped up. So that's why they are spread out. The second row, the Necrophos is at a position where you can heal and provide support without being too close, too clumped up with other people. So we try to draw fire, focus fire elsewhere. The Lich is kind of protected behind the Alchemist because the Lich is really weak to damage, and if it doesn't get its ult off, it's pretty useless. The Enigma is somewhere in the middle, it's somewhere behind. It's not on the second row because if a Disruptor hits the Tide and Disruptor, you don't want it to hit the Enigma as well, and it's able to charge up its mana because of the Crystal Maiden, so it'll be able to ult. The Medusa is placed here because the reason is because you want its split shot to be able to hit 3 targets, and if it's at the back row, it might not walk forward so that it can hit 3 targets. It might just hit 1 target. So you want it to be on the third row but at the side so you can actually hit 3 targets while remaining relatively safe. So the back row, the Crystal Maiden, is kind of protected by the Medusa by putting it behind it. And the Gyrocopter is at, because it has infinite range, so you can put it at one of the corners. So that's 4 Warlocks. So this is example 2. I mean, you can't always get your dream lineup, so sometimes you have to run DK2 if you happen to have DK2 and 3 mages, you know. So in this example, Enigma and Alchemist has been taken out for DK and Puck. So the reason why, so DK is at the back because look at the back line. Medusa's at the back, DK's at the back, and Gyro's at the back, and they are all split up so they can all deal damage without being AoE focused. And hopefully you can draw one of the AoEs on it itself. So that's the placement of your back row AoE, back line damage dealers. For Puck is kind of useless because its orb doesn't really do that much damage. It's only to charge opponent's mana. It's kind of bad. So we put it on the second row to kind of protect the Lich, but also allow the Lich to get hit by things right in front of it so that it can charge up its mana without dying. So that's why we put it here. And it's also far away from other things. So now we know what's our ideal late game, what are the items that we need to draft to get to the late game, and what our board must look like in the late game. So now we focus on the early mid game on how to arrive there with, without dying and with gold to purchase all the expensive units and stuff. Here are some good disposable alliances before level 9. Remember I mentioned at the start of the video that 6 knights or 6 warriors take up too many unit spaces to be worthwhile. However, 4 knights, 3 warriors, 3 hunters is just the right amount for you to be able to survive until level 9 where you hit all your big AoE units. So the first one is of course the OP Druid. I mean, Treant Protector. A 2-star Treant Protector, if you go to its stats, after every battle it heals for 2000 HP. It's crazy. So you want a 2-star Treant Protector. Better if it's guaranteed 2-star Treant Protector, of course. But if it's a 50-50 shot, just take it. Three warriors. Warriors are easy to draft in the early game, so 3 warriors. 3 hunters. If you can get Medusa, it'll be great because you already have a piece of the big AoE that you want to play. Same with 4 knights with DK and 2 heartless with hopefully a necro, or 2 warlock with necro, Shadow Fiend, Alchemist, or Disruptor. So you actually have some of your pieces already in place in the alliance to make your transition in the future easier. So your goal management strategy will be trying to get to level 9 and level 10 as fast as possible. The reason is because of the limited pool. You want to pick your big AoEs before other people pick it, and it's lesser of them are in the pool. So the first thing is, of course, don't reroll until maybe level 9, unless you're waiting for 4 more outs. So if you are waiting for 4 more units, you can reroll, unless you're on a loss streak and you're trying to preserve the loss streak. So don't level at round 5 or round 9. Hit interest aggressively. Sell even pet units that suck. That means if you have 2 Bloodseekers and your board is Warriors and Druids, I mean, yeah, the 2-star Bloodseeker is going to be put on your board and it's going to be sold in a couple of rounds. So just sell those 2 Bloodseekers to hit interest points. The third one is to level to 6 after interest locks at round 12. If you hit interest aggressively, you should still get 5 interest by round 13. Your loss streak should end around like round 13 to round 15, roughly. If you didn't manage to get a loss streak, it's fine. Loss streak goal are just a little bit more bonus. So you level to 7 when you have enough gold not to lose money. So when you have 60 gold, you can level to 7. You level to 8 after the interest locks in at round 17. You should still get 4 interest on round 18 if you have been very stingy about your interest. So at round 21, you have to make a decision, or at round 20 after interest lock when you're fighting the creeps. So if everyone has low levels and your board is kind of crap, and you have enough money, like 50 gold or something like that, you don't mind sacrificing 2 interests to level to 9 on round 21 to try to snatch up the global stuff, because everyone has low levels. So you being the first would be a great advantage to try to snatch up all the, the 4-cost units like Kunkka, Disruptor, things like that. If everyone is already at level 8 to 9, if 3 or 4 people with a crazy win streak are already at level 9, then you may want to delay leveling to 9 to around round 23, probably round 23, because loss streak you will probably have around 40 HP, maybe 50. 40 to 50. So you would want to, you don't mind sacrificing 1 or 2 interest to try to get to 9. Yep. So that's loss streak. It happens in most of the games. Just embrace it. And oh yeah, by the way, try to scout those boards that are also having a loss streak and try to weaken your board so that it's a little bit weaker than theirs. But if your loss streak ends, it's not the end of the world. At least you're saving up for interest points, it's fine. So the option 2 is win streak. Win streak sounds great, right? I mean, who doesn't want a win streak? It's easier to play on a win streak. You feel good, So when can you go for a win streak? You must decide around like round 5. Round 5 probably. So if your board is way stronger than everyone's, like you have a 2-star Treant and you have maybe one other 2-star like a Tusk, Or you have like 3 2-star units with a good alliance, or you have 4 2-star units, you know, those kind of crazy kind of thing. Because in those big boss lobbies, everyone knows how to play and everyone knows how to put the best units on the board. So you have to get really lucky to be able to confidently say that I'm going to get a win streak. So you level at round 5, you level at round 9. So the win streak should make up for lost interest. So you should be around the same pace, maybe a bit slower than a lost streak. And especially, I mean, if your win streak ends, then I mean, that was a bad decision to level at round 5 and round 9, right? I mean, so you may choose to level to 7 at round 13 or not. I mean, it's probably not wise to level to 7 because you have to pay 15 gold. You have to hit the level up button 3 times on round 13. So unless you have a really impactful additional unit and you think your board can't sustain the win streak, and I mean, if you have been maintaining the win streak, it ends at 8 wins, so there's not much use protecting it, you know. So yeah, so it's the win streak for high levels is kind of the same as lose streak. So one of the hints is to calculate your interest beforehand and level to the next level to if you can sell up to 40 gold before the next round starts. I mean, it sounds complicated, but what you want is 40 gold at when the next round interest locks. I'll have a table behind to tell you the numbers. It may be worth it losing 2 gold to get level 9 to 10. So I mean, if you lose 2 gold, just lose 2 gold, get to level 9, level 10, and get your big AOEs before others do. So here's an exercise, I guess, homework. You are in round 16. You are fighting this guy. You are winning this guy. The interest has locked. You are level 7. You have 45 current gold. You have junk units, you know, those that you buy just in case, but you know, 90% of the time you sell it, worth 3 gold. You have a win streak 3, and you are 3 out of 24 XP to level 8. So you have to hit the XP button 5 times to get to level 8 with the natural leveling up for the next round. So the question is, can you level up and get 40 gold when interest is calculated in round 17? The answer is no. The reason is because you have 45 gold, current gold, plus 3 gold that you sell off your bench, minus, you know, to level up, you need to spend 25 gold, and the next time interest will be 5 plus 4 because you have 48, so 4 plus 1 because you won, and plus 1 because your win streak. So if you calculate the numbers, you have 34 gold. I mean, it's very hard to calculate it during the game, especially since the game is so fast. So what you have to do is look to the next slide. I came up with a table that tells you whether you can level up and meet your next interest threshold and how much gold you'll lose from doing it so. This assumes no win goal or no streak goal. So basically you adjust these numbers based on your current situation. Okay, so for the green portions are those that I recommend you to level up. So you can see that it's okay to level up to 7 and 8 while losing 1 gold. And it's okay to level up to 9 and lose 2 gold. It's fine. It's a sacrifice. You are actually improving your board at the same time, and you are more or less increasing the odds of getting an extra goal by winning your board the next round. So it's a worthwhile sacrifice to level up. The white portions is those that I think is losing too much gold to level up. And the orange portion is actually, it depends on the situation. It depends on how much health you have. If you're on a lost streak, do I level to 7? When do I level to 7? I level to 7 in order to put a better unit on the board. Depends on what unit you have to put in, you have on your bench to put in, and it also depends how much you're losing by, whether you have a healthy health or not. So that's about it for this table. We have come to the end. Thanks for taking your time to listen to me talking about the big AOE meta. If there are any questions, or if there are some inaccuracies, that maybe some opinions that you might not agree with fully, I mean, just leave it in the comments below. Thanks for your time. That's all.